Hey everyone, this is Dog Ed and Winnie. And in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 biggest reasons why people aren't millionaires when they retire. Come on. In theory, people should have enough in their bank account and not have any financial worries when they retire if they follow these reasons. And not to waste too much time, let's jump into it now. So sitting at reason number 5 is people save instead of invest. What I mean by that is, saving is amazing. If you have enough saved up at the end of a month and you've paid all your bills, that's amazing. That's great. You're doing a fantastic job. But let's say you do have enough saved up and you do have money that you're not, spending. If you take that money and put it in a bank account, you're only going to be getting 0.6% return on your money. Whereas if you invest it in just the stock market or some other investment strategy, you can make on average around 10%. To kind of explain that in some numbers, let's say you have $10,000. You put it in a bank account, you save it. That 0.6% is only going to turn into $60. Now, let's say you take that same $10,000, put it in the stock market, you would, instead of getting $60, you would get $1,000, 10% of $1,000. And one big reason is why you shouldn't put it in a bank. So banks typically take your money and then they go invest it themselves and make money off of your money, which is kind of backwards on that's how it is in the United States and a lot of, banks across the world. But that's why they do it. They're using your money to make money off of you. So that's why you should invest instead of save. And sitting at reason number 4 is credit cards. But may I say it's using credit cards wrongly. So a lot of you probably are well aware that credit cards charge crazy high interest, like 20%, 30%. The only way they can make money off of you is if you don't pay your balance at the end of the month. So let's say you rack up $1,000 on your credit card for that month and there's 20%. They're going to charge you $200 on that $1,000. But now let's say you pay that balance, the credit card companies don't charge anything. You're only paying the money you borrowed. You're not paying any interest, nothing. If you do pay off your, debt on your credit cards, the credit card companies actually give you a perk or a bonus, which is either 1% up to 3% cash back on every dollar you spend. I'm currently get 2%. So, for example, let's say I borrow $1,000, or let's say, for example, throughout a year I spend $10,000. At the end of the year, after spending $10,000, I'm going to get 2% back, $200, just because of borrowing their money. Use the benefits that you can that are out there. With the credit cards, you get money back as long as you pay off your balance. And you can use credit cards for everything. You don't even need to carry around cash anymore. You use it whenever you go make a purchase, whenever you get gas. I don't even remember the last time I went and got gas and had to actually go in and pay cash for it. It's always at the pump. Credit cards shouldn't be something that you're afraid of. They should be something, they're just another way to be smart with your money. And if you're still watching and you enjoy this type of content and you feel like it helps you out in any way, then please hit the subscribe button to see more in the future. All right, anyways, back to the video. Sitting at reason number 3 is not using your 401k offered at your current employer. And you may be asking, what is a 401k? And 401k is just a tool in America that is aimed for companies to help you with your retirement. So in today's age, there's no longer pensions or anything like that. So what has been created is a 401k, which how it's set up is it's a way for you to contribute money into it. And every time you contribute money into it, usually your company has to match that money. So for example, a lot of companies have policies on how much they give, how much they can contribute, and how much they want to, match what you do. But let's say you do, $2,500 a year out of your salary. So in essence, your $2,500 just turned into $5,000. If you do the company's match and then take that money and invest it in just the stock market and do your 10% return, you will have more than $1 million if you're doing this for 40 years. And just to kind of demonstrate it, let me show you a little just chart drawing to show how the money is different. Let's say you just saved $2,500 versus you do the 401k match with your company. Come on over here. So let's say you just save $2,500 every year for 40 years to when you retire. So for year 1, you save up $2,500. Cool, great. You got $2,500. Now let's say year 2, you save another $2,500. Okay, cool. You got $5,000. And then if you do this all the way throughout the end of that, you save for 40 years, you're going to have only 100,000 saved up. But let's say you do a 401k and you do the match and you do the 10% return, which it's not guaranteed, by the way, with a 10% return. All right, say 2,500 401k, and you're investing it. All right. Now let's say with the first year, 2,500, and then you get a match from your company, and that's so pretty much 2,500 times 2 because it's free money. What you're getting, you're going to be getting year one, 5,000. And let's say you got that 10% on that first year. So instead of 10% on 5,000, that's an extra 500. So we're at 5,500. Now let's say year two, you do the same thing. They do the match. It's another 5,000. You would be getting, add 5,000 on that. So you would get, 10,500. So if you invest that 10,500 would turn into 11,550. Now let's just, go to year three just to show you a little more, so you get a little more data on what's going on. Before, we would have only been at 7,500. We invest 2,500 every year, 7,500. But now, if you're doing your company match and you're investing it, that amount would be 16,550. You do the 10% on that, you get 18,205. So, not trying to go too much in the math of it because I know no one likes math. Just compare year three, you're already at 18,000 if you did your 401k and you did the stock market investing. Whereas if you just saved it up, you'd have half of that. You'd have less than half. You'd only have 7,500. And just to do the math, just to show you what you'd have at the end of 40 years, and I'm not going through the calculator. I actually have the number written down. You'd have $2,434,259. So right there, you're already a millionaire when you retire, as long as you just did the financial retirement plans that are already in place for the average person. Well, that's a lot of math. We're gonna have a coffee break. No, this one's mine, Winnie. That one's yours. Before you get too mad, this is water. Winnie isn't drinking coffee. All right. She's still a minor. Sitting at reason number 2, people are living above their means. And what I mean by that is, let's say someone can afford a $30,000 car. Now, when they go and buy a car, they buy the brand new model, everything upgraded, and they spend $40,000. So right there is an example of people living above their means. They're spending more money than they have, essentially. If you are not able to afford paying your bills, you got two options. You either spend less or you make more. And the truth is, the average person, when it comes to making more, you're just working your daily job. There's nothing more you're doing. And if you don't want to do some side hustle, try to grow a business on the side in hopes of doing it full time, your only other option is, spending less. And further ado, get to the final, reason why people aren't millionaires. Let me share that with you. As cliche as it may be, the biggest reason people aren't millionaires when they retire is because they just don't take action. And I know everyone says that, everyone on social media, YouTube, they always say, action, gotta take action, gotta do it now. But it's kind of the truth. If you're not doing any of those reasons that I stated before in investing, using credit cards wisely, or doing your 401k, which we just showed how after 4 years you will have above $1 million. If you're not doing any of those, getting them set up, being conscientious about what you need to do to get to a secure financial future, you never will. That's the biggest thing, is just starting now. And even any of those reasons you may have been like, that's too much work, I don't want to do it. You don't have to do all of them. Try one of them. Do one of them, see how it affects you. And if you say, and you find out, man, this didn't help me at all, what a waste of time. The truth is, that's fine, because if you will probably learn something new, and that'll be something you don't waste time with in the future. So working now and trying something is the best thing people can do. That's kind of why I'm making these videos. I always go up to people. I'm always telling them what I'm doing, how I'm becoming more financially secure. And I've never recorded it, made a video. I'm only helping people one by one. And if I could help more people through videos have a bigger reach, then that's what this is a part of. Like I mentioned before, if you disagree with any of these ideas, send a comment. Let me know if they help, if they don't, because I really want to know if my advice is bad advice. So, and thanks so much for watching, and check out the future videos.